Now we are going to talk about conditionals in Farsi. Before that, let's see what conditionals are. In a conditional sentence, you have an if clause, which is the conditional part, and you have a main clause. You are saying under which condition the main clause is true. So in Farsi, there are different conjunctions to show the conditional form, but the most common one is the word agar. And we are going to use just this word when we are talking about conditionals in Farsi. There are two types of conditionals in Farsi, real conditionals and unreal one. Now just we are going to talk about the real conditional forms in Farsi. This is important to know that the tenses in if clause and main clause. So in real conditions in Farsi, the if clause, when it's a real condition, something that is likely to happen and it's there, so the if clause is going to be in subjunctive form, and the main clause will be in future or present. And as you know, present tense in Farsi implies present and future. So let's look at some examples. Agar man به سینما بروم او هم می آید. So as you can see, we have agar. So this is the if clause and this is our main clause. So you are saying if I go to cinema, he will come. So here I use present tense, but present tense in Farsi implies future too. So I'm saying that under this condition, this statement will be true. As opposed to English that you can use present tense or other tenses, the main clause in real conditions always is in subjunctive. اگر من به سینما بروم is in subjunctive form. So then he or she will come. Another example. اگر تو بیایی من هم خواهم آمد. So here is our if clause, because agar is in this sentence. Agar to بیایی, if you come. However, in Farsi is in subjunctive. Agar to بیایی come, to come, here is in subjunctive form. Our main clause is true. That is, I will come also. I also will come. من هم خواهم آمد. Another example. اگر باران نبارد ما به پارک می رویم. So here, this is our conditional clause. اگر, if clause. اگر باران نبارد, if it doesn't rain. Here, باریدن, to rain, is in subjunctive form but negative one. نبارد, doesn't rain. If it doesn't rain, then we will go to park. We will go to the park or park. So ما به پارک می رویم. The point is that the place of if clause is flexible. You can move this if clause next to your main clause. او هم می آید اگر من به سینما بروم. There is no problem. However, it's more common to use if clause first, and then you have your main clause. There is one important point about real conditions in Farsi. Whenever the condition is extremely likely in everyday Farsi, you can use past tense in your if clause. Let's look at some examples. So this is more in everyday Farsi, and when the condition is extremely likely. اگر او را دیدی این نامه را به او بده. So here it's again real conditions, but as you can see in our if clause, the verb is in past tense. So because the speaker, someone who is making this sentence, believes that this is extremely likely, it is highly probable. So it's he says or she says, if you saw him or her, so give him, then you have your verb in the imperative form. Give him this letter. If you saw him, but I'm just doing a literal translation. In translation, if you see him, give him this letter. But here in Farsi, we use past tense. Another example. اگر زود رسیدی این را به او بگو. If you arrive early, tell him this. این را به او, him, tell him this. So again, it's a real condition, but in our if clause, I'm using a past tense verb. So اگر زود رسیدی, then the main clause has a verb in imperative form. If you arrive early, tell him this. So the points about real conditions in Farsi. First, the if clause always in subjunctive, except for the time that you think that the condition is extremely likely. Then you can use past tense in your if clause, which is rare. It's not that common. So we can just stick to the point that always try to use subjunctive in your if clause, and then future or present in your main clause. That was the lesson on real conditions in Farsi.